Good evening, Raiders sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Francis. Unfortunately, Scott Mount is not going to be able to be with us tonight. He's under the weather. Scott, we hope you get to feeling well soon. And we are ready to play baseball. It's baseball time in Texas as we are ready to get underway here in Pflugerville, Texas. We are on the campus of Rouse High School. Not Rouse High School, Weiss High School, with the Weiss Wolves in this new district and the Rouse Raiders. So looking for a good bounce-back game tonight. Raiders just got away with one on Tuesday night as they won 2-1 over the Weiss Wolves. And it was a nail-biter all the way. Gareth Tobias on the mound for the Wolves, and he pitched a great game against the Raiders. And Raiders, with a walk-off wild pitch, able to score a run on bases loaded and come away with a win. And going over the lineups tonight for the Rouse Raiders, leading off Dalton Porter. He will be followed by the designated hitter, Tanner Robbins. Robbins hitting for the third baseman, number 3, Matt Garcia. Batting third, the shortstop, number 22, Connor Bennett. Number 23, Jared Southard will be on the mound tonight for the Raiders. At first base and batting fifth, number 26, Lance Little. He will be followed by number 1, Dylan Lewis at second base. Number 6, Jake Aleppo will be in center field, and number 34, Fisher Kingsbury, will be behind the plate for the Raiders tonight. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 14, Alex Servidis. Rouse Raiders coached by Chad Krimpine and assisted by Josh Harris. For the Weiss Wolves, leading off, number 11, Seth Joseph at third base. He was followed by number 6, Nate Garcia in center field. Number 10, Tyler Freeman, will be behind the plate for the Wolves tonight. Batting fourth, number 14, Jason Usher in left field. Number 5, Jared Cook, will be at shortstop. Batting sixth, number 7, Jonas Fusel. He will be the designated hitter. Hitting for the pitcher tonight, number 3, Carter Coffin. Number 22, Gareth Tobias, will be in right field. Batting eighth, number 19, Jacob Munoz, will be at first. And rounding out the order will be number 4, Brendan Lee at second base. A beautiful night tonight for baseball on a Friday night here in the Central Texas area. And we're going to take just a moment for the national anthem. We'll be right back with you. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. And the umpire says play ball, and we're ready to get underway here in Pflugerville. It's a beautiful day for baseball. Wind blowing out of the south. Nice little gust, but not too terrible. Sun beginning to set toward the west. The shadows long across the field. Rouse Raiders in their black tops, white pants with black pinstriping. Their black tops with white numbering and lettering. You got red and black, white stripes around the sleeves and the collar. The Raiders in their black baseball cap with the Rouse RR emblazoned across the front. Coaching the Weiss Wolves, head coach Garrett Bivoni. He's assisted by Evan Owens. And we appreciate the hospitality of Pflugerville Weiss, allowing us to come in and set up. Defensively for the Wolves tonight on the mound, lefty Carter Coffin. Behind the plate, Tyler Freeman. At first base, Jacob Munoz. At second base, Brendan Lee. At third base, Seth Joseph. At shortstop, Jared Cook. In left field, Jason Usher. In center field, Nate Garcia. And in right field, Gareth Tobias. Dalton Porter steps into the batter's box, and we're set to get underway.
Right fielder number 55, Dalton Porter.
Spoke with Coach Crimpine prior to the game, and he expects that Dalton may have a good game tonight at the plate. So he had outstanding BP prior to the game. Coffin picks up the sign from the stretch. Down and away for ball one. One ball, no strikes to Dalton Porter. The pitch misses low for ball two. 2-0 the count to Dalton Porter. The 2-0 pitch misses low for ball three. The 3-0 pitch. That's down the pipe for a strike. That'll take the count to 3-1. Pitch misses down and away for ball four, and Porter draws the leadoff walk.
Hitter number 4, Tanner Robbins.
Tanner Robbins comes to the plate, batting from the right side. Coffin throws over to first, not in time as Porter dives back in, or actually walks back in. Coffin comes set, checks Porter at first, deals high and outside for ball one. Connor Bennett on deck for the Raiders. One on with no outs here in the top of the first. We're scoreless here in Pflugerville. That pitch gets the outside corner for a strike. And the count goes even, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Robbins bunts foul for strike 2. One and 2 the count to Robbins.
Strike him out. Let's go, Weiss. There were only 5 minutes.
Coffin throws over. Not in time. A lot of chatter coming from the Raider dugout. The 1-2 pitch, that's cut on and hit down the third baseline. Joseph has it, throws over to first in time. Porter will round second and go to third. On the fielder's choice.
Connor Bennett.
That'll go 5-3 on the putout. And that'll bring up Connor Bennett. Raiders just 90 feet away. As Connor Bennett comes to the plate, he takes for ball 1. One on with a runner at third with 1 out here in the top of the first. No out or no run scored yet. The 1-0, that's inside, actually gets a piece of Bennett, and he gets awarded the base on the hit by pitch. So that'll be runners on the corners for the Raiders.
Number 23, Jared Southern.
And that will bring up Jared Southern. Southern, the starting pitcher for the Raiders tonight. As we mentioned, most every broadcast, the UT commit. He will be playing his future ball at the University of Texas. He takes for ball 1. Two on with 1 out here in the top of the first. No score. As Jared Southern's at the plate. Lance Little on deck for the Raiders. Pitch from Coffin misses low for ball 2. Two 2-0 the count to Southern. Pitch from Coffin. Southern shows bunt, lays off, and takes for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Southern. Pitch from Coffin in for a strike.
Let's go, Rouse.
3-1 the count to Southern. Coffin picks up the sign from Freeman. He toes in on the rubber. He comes home. Bennett takes off. This is a hit and run. That will score Porter. Bennett's around second. He's going to score. Jared Southern, he will hold up at second, and he gets a 2-run RBI on the double. Raiders lead this one 2-0 in the top of the first. Jared with a 1-out double, driving in 2 runs for the Raiders. Coach Bivoni calls time and wants to talk to Coffin, settle his infield, and make sure they're all on the same page.
26, Lance Little.
That'll bring up the hard-hitting Lance Little, the first baseman for the Raiders, and that we'll bring up Dylan Lewis on deck. Ethan Moore, courtesy running for the pitcher, as he is standing at second base. Pitch from Coffin. That's in for a strike. Nice little breaking ball from Coffin. Moore started to break, and Coffin turns around and looks him back to second base. He was ready to break toward third. Coffin checks second, looks again, and Moore bouncing around, and Moore gets the stolen bag. That's going to be a stolen base for Ethan Moore. The throw down from Freeman was a little high. Bring the count to 1-1 to Lance Little.
Get him out. Strike him out. Go up.
Little takes for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Little. Moore just 90 feet away. 1 out. Raiders lead this one 2-0 in the top of the first. The 2-1 pitch. This is cut on and hammered out towards center. This should score Ethan Moore. He takes off. The throw in will not be in time. Moore will score on the throw in from Garcia. Little gets the sac fly.
Coming to the plate for the Raiders, second baseman number 1, Dylan Lewis.
And the Raiders have 3 on the board here in the top of the first. Lewis lays down a bunt. Joseph comes over to play it. He plays it in time to get the out. That will go 5-3 on the putout, and that will end the first for the Raiders. Let the Raiders get 3 runs on 1 hit and lead this one 3-0. They left no one aboard. On to the bottom we go. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. The big right-hander, Jared Southard, on the mound for the Raiders, as Seth Joseph comes to the plate for the Wolves. Joseph, the third baseman for the Wolves. Southard winds, he fires a fastball, hit over to second. Lewis has it, throws over And Joseph is retired for out number 1. That'll go 4-3 on the putout. The center fielder, Nate Garcia, comes to the plate. Defensively for the Raiders, Southern on the mound, Kingsbury behind the plate, Little at first, Lewis at second. Pitch misses high for ball 1. Bennett at short, Garcia at third. Fastball down the middle for strike 1.
Let's go up.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. Garcia falls behind 1-2. Pitch misses for a ball. 2-2 the count. To Garcia. Count has gone full. Southern working really quickly. A swing and a miss. And that will
Wolves, catcher number 10, Tyler Freeman.
retire Garcia on the strikeout. 2 away, and that'll bring up number 10, Tyler Freeman, the catcher for the Wolves. In the bottom of the first, Raiders leading 3-0. Freeman takes for strike 1. Southern with a slider. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Oh, 0-2 the count to Tyler Freeman. The pitch, this is fouled off down the. And Freeman is going to be awarded on catcher interference.
Now at bat for the Wolves.
Seems to be a Raider bug here lately. That's the third batter in 2 games that has been interfered with. Zarin Lopez, courtesy running for.
Go Weiss. Go up.
Swing and a miss from Usher. Number 14, Jason Usher at the plate. Southern pitching so quickly it's hard for me to keep up with both the scoreboard and my scorebook. The 0-1, that's in for a strike, and Usher down in the count, 0-2. Southern looking to close the door on this one. From the stretch, the pitch, curveball in for strike 3 call. Usher caught looking, and that'll do it for the Wolves in the first. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. After 1 complete, it's your Rouse Raiders 3, the Weiss Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Leading off the second for the Raiders will be the center fielder, number 6, Jake Alepa. As he faces Coffin for the first time tonight. Takes for ball 1 on a pitch high and outside. The 1-0, that's in for a called strike.
Let's go, Wolves.
1-1 the count to Alepa. Coffin gets the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2. Now the count to Alepa. Coffin comes set, pitching exclusively from the stretch tonight. Pitch cut on and fouled back to the fence, and Alepa stays alive. Fisher Kingsbury on deck for the Raiders.
This is the one we want. Let's get him out.
1-2, the count to Jake Alepa. Coffin comes set. The pitch is high and outside for ball 2. That'll even the count at 2.
Get him out.
The 2-2 pitch. That misses high for ball 3, and Alepa climbs back in it and works the count full.
Let's strike him out.
Top of the second, your Raiders lead this one 3-0. The 3-2, swing and a miss. And Coffin gets the punch out.
Coming to the plate for the Raiders, center fielder number 34, Fisher Kingsbury.
That'll bring up the catcher, Fisher Kingsbury. Kingsbury batting 8th in the order. Alex Servetus on deck for the Raiders. Pitch, this is cut on and popped up. It's playable. Tobias over makes the catch, and Kingsbury is retired. F9 on the putout, and that'll bring up the number 9 hitter,
Coming to the plate for the Raiders,
Alex
left
Servetus.
fielder, number 14, Alex Servetus.
Let's go, Wolves. Get him out.
Dalton Porter on deck. Pitch for Coffin, in for a called strike as Servetus was taking.
Let's go, Wolves. Let's go. Get him out. Watch the ball.
The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2.
Let's go, Wolves. Let's go.
0-2 count
Let's get him out.
on Servetus. Pitch high and outside for ball 1. One and 2 the count.
Go, Wolves. Let's go. Get him out.
The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3, and the Raiders are retired in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on, and after 1.5, your Rouse Raiders 3, Weiss Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Leading off the second for the Weiss Wolves, number 5, Jared Cook, the shortstop. He will face Jared Southard for the first time tonight. This is cut on and hit out toward left. Porter over, makes the catch. That's more like a liner, but Porter able to make the catch to retire Jared
Coming
Cook.
to the plate for the Wolves, DH number 7, Jonas Fusel.
Number 7, Jonas Fusel will come to the plate. He bats from the left side, a righty-lefty matchup. Fusel, the designated hitter, he's hitting for the pitcher, Carter Coffin. He takes for ball 1. Pitch in for a strike, and that'll even the count up at 1. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. One and 2 the count to Fusel. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball in on the corner for strike 3. Fusel caught looking for out number 2.
Now a bat for the Wolves, right fielder number 22, Garrett Tobias.
The right fielder, number 22, Garrett Tobias, comes to the plate. He's batting from the left side, and he fouls this one off for strike 1. One thing about Sutter, he puts it around the plate. Curveball hangs high and outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Tobias. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, a breaking ball that Tobias couldn't lay off of. 1-2 the count. Fastball that Tobias couldn't keep up with, strikes him out. Southern retires the side in order. After 2 complete, it's your Rouse Raiders 3, Weiss Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Dalton Porter digs in from the left side. He faces Coffin for the second time tonight. Porter drew the walk back in the first. Pitch, this one's hammered, and it is hit out to deep right field. Tobias over makes the catch, and Porter is retired.
Coming to the plate for the
That looked like it had a chance to go over the fence, but falls short. That'll bring up Tanner Robbins. Robbins takes for ball 1. One and 0 the count. Umpire asking Raiders to get back in the dugout. The 1-0. That drops in for a strike. That'll even the count up at 1. One and 1 the count to Tanner Robbins. Robbins grounded out the third. His first at bat as he takes for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Robbins. Two-one pitch. This is through the gap into left. Robbins aboard with the single.
Coming to the plate for the Raiders, shortstop number 22, Connor Bennett.
Number 22, Connor Bennett, comes to the dish with 1 on, 1 out. Here in the top of the third, Raiders lead this one 3-0. The pitch, a swing, big hacking swing from Bennett for strike 1. Robbins walks back to the bag on the snap throw from Coffin over to first. Coffin comes set. A throw over to first. Not being time. Robbins in standing up. Connor Robbins in a pickle, and he's tagged out as Coffin was able to fool him on the pitch. He thought he was going home, and he broke for second. The 0-1 pitch. And Bennett gets a piece of this and sends Usher back, and he makes the catch. And the Raiders go down in order. 1, 2, 3. And after 2.5, it's Rouse 3, Weiss nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Number 19, Jacob Munoz, comes to the plate. So he takes for ball 1. Pitch in for strike. That'll even the count up. 1-1. Pitch from Southern. Breaking ball, cut on and missed for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Munoz. The 1-2 pitch, a fastball, blows by Munoz for the strikeout. That'll bring up second baseman, number 4, Brendan Lee. Lee batting 9th in the orders. He takes fastball for strike 1. Southern bringing the heat on that fastball. Southern pitches well up in the 90s. Slider misses low for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Lee. Pitch for Southern. Curveball hangs high and inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Lee. The pitch, this is fouled off. And the count evens at 2. Beautiful night here in Pflugerville, Texas, for some Friday night baseball. Your Raiders leading the district 7-0 or 7-0. Lee has worked the count full. Payoff pitch misses low, and Southern gives up his first free pass of the night. And that'll
third baseman, number 11,
take us back to the top of the order. One on with one out here in the bottom of the third. Breaking ball from Southern misses for ball 1. Joseph grounded out to second. His first at bat. The 1-0. And Joseph bunts it foul and popped it up, and Garcia over makes the catch.
Coming to the plate, center fielder number 6, Nate Garcia.
Two away. As Garcia stands in, he takes for ball 1. One and 0 the count. The pitch. This was fouled off and out of play. That'll even it up at 1. 1 on with 2 outs. Raiders leading 3-0. The pitch. Try to check his swing. He's rung up. Went around. 1-2. The count to Garcia. The pitch, fastball, throw down to second, will not be in time. It bounces into the outfield, and Brendan Lee with a stolen base. The pitch was a ball, so that'll even the count up at 2. The 2-2 hangs outside for ball 3, and Garcia works it full. Runner at second base in scoring position. Payoff pitch fouled back to the fence, and Garcia stays alive. Southern calls for another ball. He didn't like the way it felt in his hand. Payoff pitch. Misses for ball 4, and Southern gives up his second walk of the inning. Runners at first and second.
Catcher number 10, Tyler Freeman.
Southern had worked the count full in both instances, losing the batters and giving the free pass. 2 on with 2 out. A swing and a miss from Freeman for strike 1. Freeman reached on catcher's interference back in the first. The 0-1, this is fouled off, and Freeman quickly in a 0-2 hole. Southern from the stretch. Curveball in the dirt. Throw down to first in time to complete the strikeout. Pflugerville gets no runs on no hits and 2 left on. After 3 complete, it's Rouse 3, Weiss nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Leading off the 4th for the Raiders, number 23, Jared Southard. Southard with a 2 RBI double back in the first. Coffin takes his time. The pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Coffin comes set. The 1-0, a swing and a miss from Southern for strike 1. Number 26, Lance Little on deck for the Raiders. The 1-1 pitch. He was able to check his swing and takes for ball 1. Or actually ball 2, I'm sorry. Two and 1 the count. Pitch. Breaking ball drops in for strike 2. That'll even the count up at 2. The 2-2 pitch. This is cut on. This is through the gap into right field, and Southern with a single.
At bat for the Raiders, first baseman number 26, Lance Little.
1 on with no out for the junior, Lance Little. Ethan Moore, courtesy running for Southern. And Dylan Lewis on deck. Coffin comes set. The pitch misses outside for ball 1. Moore extends his lead at first. The 1-0. He throws over, not in time. Moore extends his lead just a little bit more. Coffin takes his time. He's awfully close to a balk. That front knee is kind of going towards home. He can bring it straight up, but he can't motion toward home. That would constitute a balk. Throw over again, not in time. Little's only seen 1 pitch. He's made 3 throws over to first. The 1-0, that's down and away for ball 1, or ball 2. Two and 0 the count to Little. Pitch for Coffin. Misses outside for ball 3. Little way ahead in the count at 3-0. Coffin comes set. He checks Moore. He delivers fastball down the middle for strike 1. Three and 1 the count to Little. Another throw over to first. Moore easily back in. Coffin takes his time. He delivers this one home, and Little pops this one up, and it falls in fair. And Moore thought it was going to be caught, so he hung around first, but he stayed a little too far away from second base, and the throw over
Second baseman, number 1, Dylan Lewis.
will get him on the force. Dylan Lewis will stand in. He takes for ball 1. Throw over to first, not in time. Little gets back in. 1 ball, no strikes to Lewis. Pitch misses outside for ball 2. Two and 0 the count to Lewis. Little at first. The pitch, that's off the glove of Freeman to the backstop. Little will advance on the pass ball.
Come on, Love.
3 and 0 the count to Lewis. Jake Alepa on deck for the Raiders. Coffin checks Little back at second. He comes home. That's going to be in the dirt for ball 4. Raiders have 2 aboard. Runners at first and second.
Raiders center fielder number 6, Jake Alepa.
Runners at first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Your Raiders leading 3-0 as the center fielder, Jake Alepa, comes to the plate. Alepa struck out back in the second. Pitch misses way outside for ball 1. Coffin has the sign, and he looks back at Little. It takes a little longer look, and he spins off and looks Little back to the bag. Carter once again comes set. The 1-0 pitch misses outside for ball 2. Two and 0 the count to Alepa. Fisher Kingsbury on deck. The 2-0 as Alepa shows bunt, lays off. He takes for ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. To Alepa, the 3-0 pitch. He shows bunt, lays off, takes ball 4. And Carter Coffin has given up his second walk of the inning. And the bases are loaded with Raiders. Fisher Kingsbury coming to the plate. Coach Bivoni talking strategy with his infield with bases loaded and 1 out. Fisher Kingsbury, the number 8 hitter in the order.
At bat for the Raiders, catcher number 34, Fisher Kingsbury.
Kingsbury flew out to right his first time up.
You ready, Love?
Nobody being held on.
Get 2. Let's get him out.
That pitch goes in the dirt. Little will score on the wild pitch. And the runners advance. We have runners at second and third. One run has scored. Raiders take a 4-0 lead. Kingsbury in a 1-0 count. He takes for ball 2. Two and 0 the count to Fisher Kingsbury. Runners at second and third. Here in the top of the fourth, your Raiders leading 4-0 over the Weiss Wolves. Kingsbury shows bunt, lays off for ball 3. Carter Coffin in danger of giving up his third free pass of the inning. Alex Servatus on deck for the Raiders. Pitch from Coffin misses low for ball 4, and he's given up 3 straight walks. And the bases are loaded again.
For Rouse, left fielder number 14, Alex Cervantes.
Number 14, Alex Servatus, comes to the plate with bases loaded. Servatus struck out back in the second inning. Number 55, Dalton Porter on deck. Coffin struggling to find the strike zone. The pitch down the middle for a strike. He found it on that one. Nothing in 1, the count to Servatus. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Coffin looks long and hard. He steps off and resets. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a pitch that was way outside. Two away.
Raiders right fielder number 55, Dalton Porter.
2 away with bases loaded, and Dalton Porter coming to the plate. Porter has walked and flown out to right. Pitch outside for ball 1.
Come on, Wolf. This is the one we want.
Porter, the 7th batter of the inning for the Raiders. The 1-0. This is cut on and hit foul out of play, and that'll even the count up at 1. Tanner Robbins on deck for the Raiders. Coffin comes set. The 1-1 pitch. In for a called strike. 1-2, the count to Dalton Porter with bases loaded with Raiders. Coffin taking his time. The 1-2. This is cut on and hammered over to second. Lee has it. Throw over in time. And the Raiders lose a golden opportunity with bases loaded. They get 1 run on 2 hits and 3 left on. After 3.5, it's your Rouse Raiders 4. The Weiss Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Jared Southard back out to pitch the 4th for the Raiders, and he will be facing Usher. As Usher takes for ball 1. One and 0 the count to Usher. Usher a strikeout victim back in the first. The 1-0 from Southern, the fastball just misses low for ball 2. The 2-0 high and inside for ball 3. The 3-0 is in for a called strike. It's in the same location the first pitch was, and it was not called a strike. This is cut on and hit over to Garcia at third. Throw over to first. It pulls Little up off the bag. That will be an E5.
Now batting for the Wolves, shortstop, number 5, Jared Cook.
On the high throw. One on with no outs. Is that what is a routine ground ball? As Cook swings and misses for strike one. Usher extends his lead at first. Curveball cut on and missed for strike two. Oh, and 2 the count to Cook. Fastball. This is taken back up the middle to Southern. They'll get the out at first. And that will move Usher over. That'll go 1-3
DH number 7, Jonas
on the put out. Jonas Fusel comes to the plate. Southern spins off and looks Usher back to second. Fusel 0 for 1. He was caught looking back into second. He swings and misses for strike one. Oh, 1 the count to Fusel. Pitch hangs just a bit outside for ball 1. That'll even the count up at 1. The 1-1 pitch, fastball, down the middle, swung on and missed for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Jonas Fusel. Jason Usher at second base. A strikeout of Fusel.
At bat for the Wolves, right fielder number 22, Garrett Tobias.
And that'll bring up the right fielder, Garrett Tobias. Tobias struck out back in a second to end the inning. A swing and a miss for strike one. One on with 2 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Raiders lead this one 4-0 over the Wolves. The 0-1, a swing and a miss from Tobias. Sutter working way ahead in this one. The 0-2 misses inside for ball one. One and 2 the count to Tobias. Usher extends his lead, nobody holding him on. Sutter spins around and looks him back, but there's nobody to cover the bag. The 1-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. And the Wolves get no runs, no hits, 1 left on. After 4 complete, it's the Raiders 4, the Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Thanks for tuning in, friends. I'm Michael Francis, flying solo tonight. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Number 4, Tanner Robbins digs in from the right side. Connor Bennett on deck for the Raiders. He'll take for ball one. The 1-0 misses outside for ball 2. The 2-0, that's in for a strike. Two and 1 to count to Tanner Robbins. Robbins is 1 for 1. He singled and grounded out to the third baseman. Two and 2, the count to Robbins. The 2-2 pitch. This is cut on and hit out towards center field. Nate Garcia over, makes the catch.
Now after the Raiders.
And Robbins
Shortstop
is
number
retired.
22, Connor Bennett.
Connor Bennett comes in 0 for 1. He has flown out to left and has been hit by a pitch. Takes for strike one. Bennett calls time. He steps out of the box. Umpire issuing a warning, but I wasn't clear on what he said. The 0-1 to Bennett. Big swing and a miss for strike two. Oh, and 2 the count to Bennett. Freeman sets up high as Bennett just gets a piece of it and fouls it off back to the fence. The count will remain 0-2. Jared Southard on deck for the Raiders. The 0-2 pitch, it's in the dirt for ball one. Little drum line practice off in the distance that I'm hearing. One and two. Misses low for ball two. The count evens. Nobody on with one out here in the top of the fifth. Your Rouse Raiders lead 4-0 over the Wolves. The 2-2. This is hammered up the middle to center field. And Garcia makes the catch for out number two.
For the Raiders, pitcher number 23, Jared Southard.
2 away for Jared Southard as he comes to the plate. Nobody on. With 2 flyouts to center. F8's on your scorecard. Pitch way inside and high for ball one. The 1-0 from Coffin and misses low for ball two. Two 2-0 the count. Coffin requests a change of baseballs. He didn't like the feel in his hand. Raiders with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the fifth. The 2-0 pitch just gets the outside corner for strike one. Two and one the count to Jared Southard. The 2-1 pitch from Coffin, that's in the dirt for ball three. Three and one the count to Southard now. Pitch misses outside for ball four. Raiders have one aboard.
First baseman number 26, Lance Little.
One on with 2 outs. Ethan Moore comes on to courtesy run for Jared Southard. Southern, the 5th walk of the night for Carter Coffin.
Be ready, one. Get 'em out.
Coffin comes set as Little digs in. He snap throws over to first. Moore safely back in.
Let's go up. Get 'em out.
Pitch misses outside for ball 1.
Truck 'em out.
1-0 the count to Little. Dylan Lewis on deck. Pitch high for ball 2.
Get 'em out.
2-0 the count. Little gets a piece of this one. He pops it up. It's playable. Tobias over makes the catch. And that'll do it. 1, 2, 3, go the Raiders.
Let's go up.
No runs on no hits. I take that back. It wasn't 1, 2, 3. I mismarked in my book, folks. My apologies for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, go the Raiders. No runs on no hits, 1 left on. After 4.5, it's your Rouse Raiders 4. The Weiss Wolves, nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Jacob Munoz leading off the 5th for the Wolves as he takes for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch for Southern, fastball down the middle for strike 1. That evens the count up at 1. 1-1 pitch, curveball cut on and missed for strike 2. Munoz struck out back in the 3rd. He calls time. Southern winds, he comes home, a breaking ball in the dirt, and count evens up at 2. Two, the count to Munoz. Southern winds, fastball. Wow. What a nice pitch from Southern. He didn't get the call, but it sure looked good on that outside corner. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3.
Now at bat for the Wolves, second baseman, number 4, Brendan Lee.
Go up.
And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brendan Lee. Lee drew a walk his first time up. So he takes for strike one. Swing and a miss for strike two. So you like the look of that fastball. The 0-2 pitch, that's in the dirt for ball one. One and two, the count to Lee. Lee, the ninth batter in the order. This is cut on and hit over Southard. And he'll walk it over and get the out himself. 1U on the putout. And that will bring Joseph
number 11, Seth Joseph,
back up to the top. He's 0 for 2. He is grounded to second, and the infield flew out to Garcia at third. And he takes for a strike. And he takes again for strike two. And he strike out. He's caught looking. Raiders retire the side in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 5 complete, it's 4-0 Rouse Raiders. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Dylan Lewis comes to the plate, and Jonas Fusel comes on in relief of Carter Coffin. Lewis is 0 for 1. He is grounded out to third and walked. The first pitch misses high and outside for ball one. The 1-0, That's in for a strike. That'll even the count up at 1. Fusel delivers. And almost gets Lewis in the feet. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch, that's high and off the glove of Freeman. That'll take the count to 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, it's high and outside for ball 4. And Lewis with back-to-back walks.
Now at bat for the Raiders, center fielder number 6, Jake Alepa.
One on with no outs here in the top of the 6th. Your Rouse Raiders leading 4-0. As Jonas Fusel has come on in relief of Carter Coffin. As he faces Jake Alepa, and he takes for ball 1. 1-0 pitch high for ball 2. Two and 0 to count to Alepa. Fusel trying to find his rhythm. The 2-0, that's high and outside for ball 3. Three and 0 the count to Alepa. Fusel comes set. The pitch, that's down the middle for a strike. Three and 1 the count to Alepa. Throw over to first will not be in time as Lewis gets back in. Pitch kind of wide and inside. Alepa gets hit.
Coming to the plate for the Raiders, catcher number 34, Fisher Kingsbury.
And that'll put two aboard. Runners at first and second. For Fisher Kingsbury. Coach Bavoni calls time and wants to talk to his infield. Number 17, Trevor Bradley on deck. Bradley, a call-up from the JV. Fusel picks up the sign. Checks Lewis back at second. He deals a strike. Right down the middle of the zone. The 0-1. Kingsbury fouls a bunt back to the fence for strike 2. Oh, 2 the count to Kingsbury. Runners at first and second with no outs. Here in the top of the 6th, Raiders leading 4-0. Freeman sets way outside. Fusel delivers low for ball 1. One and 2 the count to Kingsbury. The 1-2 pitch, that's high and outside for ball 2. That'll even. Two and two, the count. Fusel taking his time. Kingsbury will call time. Fusel comes set. The 2-2 pitch. This is fouled back. And the count remains. Two and two. Still the count. Fusel taking his time. And Kingsbury gets handle on this one. High fly ball out to left. Usher over makes the catch. Not deep enough to send anybody to the next bag. One away. For Trevor Bradley. Dalton Porter on deck for the Raiders.
Now bad for the Raiders, number 17, Trevor Bradley.
Bradley pinch hitting for Servetus. He fouls this one off for strike one. Fusel takes a long look in, picks up his sign for Freeman. He turns around and looks at Lewis back at second. Swing and a miss from Bradley for strike two. Two strikes. Freeman sets up high. Hits him, and that'll load the bases.
At bat for the Raiders, a right fielder, number 55, Dalton Porter.
Bases loaded with Raiders for Dalton Porter. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch. Outside for ball one. The 1-0 pitch. That's high for ball two. The 2-0. That's high for ball three. Fusel has no place to put him. Three and 0 the count to Dalton Porter. The 3-0 pitch misses low and away for ball four, and that'll score Lewis.
At bat for the Raiders, DH number 4, Tanner Robbins.
Bases still loaded. for Tanner Robbins. Umpire issuing a warning to stay in the dugout. Robbins takes high for ball 1. Ball 2. And Fusel is really struggling to find the strike zone. It's high for ball 3. And again, he has no place to put Tanner Robbins. .3-0 the count. The pitch, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And that has plated 2 runs this inning. And bases are still loaded for Connor Bennett. Raiders leading 6-0 here in the top of the 6th. Bases loaded with 1 out. That'll do it for Fusel. It's like Nate Garcia will come on in relief of Fusel. Fusel making his way to right field. And I assume that Tobias may be headed over to center. Nate Garcia comes on in relief of Jonas Fusel. He'll get his warm-up pitches in. Jared Southard on deck with Connor Bennett coming to the plate for the Raiders. Raiders have scored 2 runs on no hits. Two batters have been hit by pitch, and 3 have walked. 2 runs have walked in. Everybody on board is property of Jonas Fusel. Fusel goes 1/3 of an inning. Before Garcia comes on in relief. And they bring in another lefty. To throw against the Raiders.
Now on the mound for the Wolves, number 6, Nate Garcia. At bat for the Raiders, shortstop number 22, Connor Bennett.
Connor Bennett digs in from the right side. He has bases loaded with Raiders. As he takes for ball 1. Garcia comes set, the 1-0. This is cut on and hit out toward shallow center. That will score a run, and everyone will be safe with the single. Raiders get a hit in the inning.
Now at bat for the Raiders, pitcher number 23, Jared Southern.
Raiders lead 7-0. Southern gets a piece of this one and sends it foul down the right field side. Southern with one strike. Lance Little on deck. Southern fouls this one off nearly in the same location, but this one is going to go out of play. Southern behind in the count, 0-2. Bases loaded with one out. Here in the top of the sixth, Raiders leading 7-0. Garcia comes set. Southern tattoos this one up in the gap. That'll get one, but it won't get two in the fielder's choice. But it scores a run.
Coming to the plate for the Raiders, first baseman number 26, Lance Little.
Southern hits into the fielder's choice, and it gets Bennett out. That's two away. With runners at first and third. Raiders leading 8-0. As Little takes for ball one. Yeah, the Raiders have now batted the order. Moore with the stolen base. Garcia leaves it hanging outside for ball two. Two 2-0 the count to Little. Dylan Lewis on deck. Pitch misses low and outside for ball three. 3-0 the count to Little. Pitch, ball four, and that'll load the bases again.
Now at bat for the Raiders, second baseman number 1, Dylan Lewis.
Dylan Lewis batting for the second time this inning. He drew a walk earlier in the inning. Pitch from Garcia is high for ball one. So he gets one in for a strike. One and one the count to Lewis. Lewis calls time. The 1-1, this is popped up and hit in foul territory, and Joseph Over makes the catch to end the inning. But the Raiders score 4 runs on 1 hit and 3 left on. After 5.5, it's your Rouse Raiders 8, Weiss Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Garcia digs in from the left side, and he fouls this one off for strike 1. He takes for strike 2. 2 strikes to Nate Garcia. He's 0 for 1. He gets caught looking. For the first out of the inning.
Now at bat for the Wolves, catcher number 10, Tyler Freeman.
Number 10, Tyler Freeman will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He has struck out and reached on catcher interference. He fouls this one off for strike 1. Fouls another one off for strike 2. Nobody on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Your Rouse Raiders leading 8-0 over the Weiss Wolves. The 0-2, this is cut on and hit over to Lewis at second. In time for the put out. It'll go 4-3 on the put out.
Left fielder number 14.
That's 2 away,
Jason
and that'll
Usher.
bring up number 14, Jason Usher. Usher is 0 for 1. He's struck out looking, and he reached on an error. Fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And the 0-2 pitch misses for ball 1. 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And 1-2-3 go the Wolves in the 6th. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 6 complete, it's Rouse 8, Weiss nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Number 6, Jake Alepa, comes to the plate to lead off the 7th. Alepa is 0 for 1. He has struck out, walked, and been hit by pitch. And he singles this one into left field. It goes all the way down the line. And Alepa easily with a stand-up double.
Now at bat for the Raiders.
Alepa's, where has this been? I've been looking for this for a while, and I have found it. That will bring up the catcher, Fisher Kingsbury. Kingsbury takes for a strike. Nothing in 1, the count to Kingsbury. Swing and a miss on a little bit of off speed, and Kingsbury takes a big hack for strike 2. Nothing in 2, the count to Kingsbury. Alex Servetus on deck. Freeman sets up high. The 0-2 pitch. This is cut on and hit out to the right. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Alepa will hold up at third base. Kingsbury with a single. Back-to-back singles for the Raiders. Runners at first and third.
To the plate for the Raiders, a left fielder, number 14, Alex Servetus.
Courtesy runner coming on for the catcher, I believe. And I believe that is Robert Mount. I know a guy, as Scott Mount would say. Servetus pops this one up. And it should have been infield fly. And runners will hold up.
Now at bat for the Raiders, right fielder number 55, Dalton Porter.
One away for Dalton Porter. Garcia comes set. Deals down and away for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Two and 0 the count. The pitch misses low for ball 3. Porter has 2 walks on the night. He is 0 for 2. He has popped out to right, or flown out to right, and grounded to second. 3-0 the count to Porter. Pitch, this hits Porter. And that'll load the bases, folks.
Raiders, DH number 4, Tanner Robbins.
Bases loaded with 1 out for Tanner Robbins. Robbins drew the walk his last at bat. Pitch from Garcia. Oh, nice looking pitch. Not sure where that one missed. The 1-0 misses low for ball 2. And it's like Garcia cannot buy a strike. The 2-0 pitch finally gets the call. Count goes to 2-1 to Lance Little. Pitch from Garcia, swing and a miss. I'll say to Lance Little, that is Tanner Robbins. That'll take the count even to 2-2. Garcia comes set. Robbins tips this one foul back to the fence. Count remains even at 2. Good crowd here tonight to watch a little baseball. Pitch from Garcia. This has cut on and hit up the middle. Cook has it over at first. Robbins will be safe as Porter will be out on the fielder's choice. That will drive a run home as Aleppo will score. And that'll put runners on the corners. Six-4 on the putout of Dalton Porter. And the Raiders, I think Porter was called for interference. And we're going to call runner's interference on Porter. So he went in standing up. So essentially a double play. And that'll bring up the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Leading off the 7th for the Wolves, the shortstop, Jared Cook. As he takes for ball 1. Curveball just a bit inside. 1-0 in for a strike, and that'll even the count up at 1. The 1-1 pitch. This is hammered down the third base side. Garcia has it. Throw over to first in time. A bang, bang play by Matt Garcia to turn the out. 5-3 on the putout. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Jonas Fusel. Fusel's 0 for 2. He's back-to-back strikeouts, and he takes a big swing and a miss for strike one here. Oh, misses for ball one. One and two. The count to Fusel. Southern Weiss, ooh, a fastball. Had a little bit of movement on it. Tails high for ball two.
Let's go.
2-2 misses for ball three, and Fusel works the count full. Southern picks up the sign for Kingsbury. Goes into his windup. Fastball down the middle. And Fusel gets the hat trick on strikeouts. He's caught looking.
Coming to the plate for the Wolves, center fielder, number 22.
2 away for the Wolves, and Garrett Tobias comes to the plate. So he takes for ball one. Wolves down to their final out. Check swing. He gets rung up. Count goes to 1-1. Fouls this one back to the fence. Tobias 0 for 2. He has struck out twice, both times swinging. One and two the count to Gareth Tobias. Pitch from Southern, swing and a miss. And that will do it. 1, 2, 3. Go the Wolves in order, and the Wolves take this one on the chin and lose one 9-0. Garrett Tobias with the final strikeout. Jared Southern picks up another W. And the Raiders remain undefeated in district. They are 8-0 in district play. And their ERA just went below .41, which they had coming into this game tonight. Outstanding pitching performance by Jared Southern. And we will be back here in just a moment with the final numbers and the wrap-up. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Welcome back, friends. As the Rouse Raiders win another district battle with the Weiss Wolves 9-0. Jared Southard with the complete game no-hit shutout of the Weiss Wolves. Southard picks up 13 strikeouts, only gives up 2 walks and no hits. 3 runners did reach base, 1 on an error, and 2 walks given up by Jared Southard, and that was it for Weiss Wolves base runners. And Jared Southard picks up the win. Carter Coffin picks up the loss and is on the hook for it for the Weiss Wolves, as their pitching staff gave up 9 runs on, well, I'll look this right quick. 1, 2, off 6 hits and a whole ton of walks. So the Weiss Wolves really struggled on the mound tonight, and they just couldn't string together any hits or any offense. And like I said, they took one on the chin. Next week, Rouse will take on Cedar Park, and then Pflugerville the following week to close out district. Right now they sit atop the district standings, 8-0. They will play tomorrow at noon at Rouse. This game will not be streamed live. It's a non-district game versus the Elgin Wildcats, and it will be at Rouse. So if you can, come out to Rouse Raider Field and support your Rouse Raiders as they take on the Wildcats from Elgin. Folks, we thank you for listening in to Rouse Raider Baseball. Once again, I'm Michael Francis. You've been listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. We thank you for listening. We will see you next week, next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock versus Cedar Park. Good night and God bless from Pflugerville on Weiss High School campus. You've been listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. We'll see you Tuesday. Good night, everybody.